let you know when the message pops that we went live.
Yeah.
Because
And then I
sometimes
can
it
do the
doesn't do it.
intro. Yeah, it does it to me too.
Where it's like, oh yeah, you're live, but like you're not really live. So
You're live 10 minutes ago.
You're alive.
That's good.
That's good. Let's see. Somebody else want to check and make sure we are up and running?
I've already got it on my phone.
And we're going.
And maybe.
Hello, internet? Maybe?
Hello, internet? I'm sorry. I have to
recording.
wait 15 seconds for this ad to play.
So I think we're live then.
That ad space, though.
We're probably live.
Woohoo!
Hello, ad. Hello.
Hello,
Hi.
ad.
Ad for...
Yeah, for what?
I don't know.
What was
Yeah,
the
what
ad?
was an ad for?
I don't know.
It was
Pay attention to the
probably
ads.
Yeah, why-
some mundane product that was marketed towards streamers and gamers because they do that.
Yeah.
Mountain Dew Rise, or
Yep.
whatever the heck it is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
By the way, go buy Mountain Dew Rise. Looking at you, Mountain Dew. Come sponsor us.
Okay.
Welcome, everyone,
now.
to... Hold on.
Yeah. Remove.
Decisions and Dragons.
Step 1, remove headphones.
Yes.
Step
There we
2,
go.
flail.
I don't know what this.
Oh,
I don't know what happened here, but here,
Yeah.
here we are.
Step 3,
Moving
regret
on.
our
Leave
life
it.
choices.
Leave
Anyway.
that hair inside your eyeball.
Yes, please.
That's
do.
where that
It's
lives
not even
now.
in my eyeball. It's like right at the edge, so I'm like, okay, no, really.
Yeah, no,
Really
that's
not.
gonna.
Okay. When last we left off, our intrepid heroes who have yet to name their damn group,
I
Naturally,
came up with a
man.
great name and nobody liked it.
laid some
Not my fault.
plans with their newfound information. They met an elderly wizard on the outskirts of town named Eskel, who is not the
Watch
nicest of
wizard.
gentlemen, but agreed to research and add his expertise to the current predicament. And you all, I assume, reconvene back at the Thurston Manor.
Yes, me and Faraday
Yes.
lugging the giant brazier between us.
Yes.
That's right.
Whoopsie.
So, you all return to the Thurston Manor. You guys hear a slight dragging sound from time to time as the large brazier is dragged up the walkway and toward the main area, to which Jules comes out and says, "Do you require assistance?"
Well, we've got it. We can carry it.
Almost there.
All right. Would you like me to? I'll hold the door. Just please.
Yes, please.
Actually, I'm kind of. Maybe we should put it out back.
Right. Would you like me to fetch the cart? We can roll it back there.
I think we need to go speak with the group. So you wouldn't mind maybe putting it out back. I'm sure Arthea would prefer to use it out there.
Of course, yes. He snaps his fingers and some other help from around the house arrive. One of them conveniently with a little wheelbarrow. And they all, hop, 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 hop. They run up and like lift all at once, put it on the wheelbarrow, and then you just hear hop, 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 as they disappear around the side towards the back, towards the garden. You are all in Thurston Manor. Tell me, what would you like to do?
What we're calling it now, Thurston Manor.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
Thurston
it's
House, Nollard
The
Manor.
Nollard Manor.
Manor.
I
I
think
don't know why I
Thurston
said-
Manor is funny. Like you guys all just start calling it that, and Thurston's like, but it's not.
upset. I'm not upset with it.
But,
Your
like,
sisters
what-
get irritated about it though.
And your mother.
I feel like she's picking her battles.
That's
Especially
It's
fair.
now.
helpful, but it seems a little
Yeah.
premature.
All right. Where do you all find yourselves?
We're Weren't we going to? We were all planning on reconvening in the study.
Okay.
Fair enough.
You all find yourselves within Thurston's study while I try to find some sort of ambient anything to play.
When you guys get to the study, you see that he has had a few more chairs brought in so that now there is a place for everyone to sit. It's a little bit, it's not as neatly organized or kind of just against the wall on one side, but now everybody at least has a chair to sit in instead of sitting on the floor.
Faraday still sits on the desk.
God damn.
What kind of chairs are these?
The
chairs?
extra chairs are no, they're probably like extra dining room chairs. Like you imagine that they have their normal dining set and then they have extra chairs and like whatnot when they're entertaining. So it's like extra dining room chairs.
These chairs make me feel like I need snacks.
These chairs make me feel like I need to have really good posture.
Well,
I
that's
can help with both. And he opens the
that's
drawer and
Arthea
there's
and
like
Cat.
jerky in it.
Faraday.
Jerky, desk jerky.
Yeah, you gotta have snacks.
Yep, Faraday's
In
just
the
sitting
desk.
across.
Oh, yeah, Arthea.
I mean, it hasn't been in
bought
there
you
this
this.
whole time. Jules changes it out. Like, come on.
There might be jerky in my desk at work for like the last 18 months.
Ugh.
It's probably not
jerky
something
doesn't
you
go
want to
bad.
grab.
Jerky
I
doesn't go
mean-
bad.
I'm pretty sure jerky will eventually go bad.
That's the type of stuff that they put in those emergency kits. It doesn't go bad that quickly. Gadriel also hands Arthea the giant bag of jerky that she bought specifically for her, along with the crackers and hard cheese.
What is this? What?
Well,
Is this
I thought
component
What am I
components?
hearing?
And she's looking at it like,
you meant like some of your own, in case you get peckish.
turning red.
But we did get your charcoal and the brazier.
Oh yeah, it's
Ooh.
out back.
It's in the back.
Oh, very good idea. I don't want to stink up the house.
And then she also gives her the iron chunk.
Right.
Just unloads all this shit in your lap.
She's just sitting there with this
There you
like
go.
bag of jerky and this chunk of iron and kind of just like, oh,
It's like Christmas when you sit awkwardly in the chair while you've been unwrapping your presents.
Yeah.
And it's just all piled around you and you're not quite sure what
Mhm.
to do with it all.
yeah.
Yep.
I'll have to divvy this up before we leave. In the morning? That was the plan, right?
Faraday wanted to go to a party tomorrow night, but
Oh, a party?
I ran across do you remember back in Terse Fields before we left? Quincy. We met them in the
the
bar.
tavern.
The tavern.
They
They op-
played with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they opened
Quincy, no last name.
Quincy, no last name.
Okay.
Yes. They opened a bar. A tavern. Did I get the name of the tavern of Quincy's
It was
place?
called
I think
Quincy's
it's
Tavern.
It was just
Quincy's.
Quincy's.
It was Quincy's.
Yeah.
They opened a tavern here in Westron. And our I kind of like she kind of leans forward to check and see if the door of this study is open. And I guess tomorrow they're supposed to be having a party to kind of kick off opening the place, some high profile guests, maybe a couple of fights in a ring, some food, some wine. You know.
This is a tavern.
As Faraday is just listing off all of these things, I start pointing to each of one of us that particular reason appeals to.
What did you point at Thurston for?
I don't know.
At what point?
Mostly it was Cad and myself. I'm just pointing at
The high profile guests, clearly.
high profile guests. Yeah.
Mm.
Networking,
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I mean,
drinking. I point at Cad. Fighting. I point back at Faraday. That's the real reason she wants to go.
I mean,
So
I
is this like a
And it's at a
legal
bar with
thing?
people. I'm all about that.
It's like a legal thing, or is it like is it like like up in Joran, or is it like a basement?
I
or
didn't
is it like in
really-
Vasselheim?
You know, I really didn't get. I didn't really ask them for the. It seems to operate kind of in a gray area, I guess.
I lean over to Dermot. The spring Faraday doesn't really ask questions, does she?
No, it's great.
But we don't.
Okay.
We don't have. We don't. We need to go. We need to go to Whitestone.
I mean, is one day really gonna matter?
I point at Faraday and say, speaking of Whitestone, I don't think that's where we're headed.
What do you mean?
Where?
I pull a Cujo. I forgot to write down like what kind of cup this is. Is it just like a
It
like
was
a metal
mithril.
mithril?
So it's got the sheen of silver with this slight, almost bluish turquoise slight tinge to its color.
I was not far off. My first guess was probably gonna be pewter. So I pull out this goblet essentially that's made entirely of mithril and say, Rig gave this to me. And I hand it to Arathea because this is mostly in her wheelhouse. And explain, well, you fill it with water and you can scry on a person's like last known location. It's not perfect, but according to this, Gilmore was in Vasselheim at least a few hours ago.
Oh wow.
When I used the cup, I got an image of the Vasselheim South Gate, I believe, right?
Yes, that is correct.
You couldn't see anything else, like you couldn't see him in it. It was just the location he was at.
No, it was the location he was at a few hours ago.
Okay. Well, that changes things.
Changes a lot of things.
Maybe.
I mean, I guess we were heading to Whitestone, or that the thought was to head there to talk to Marin.
Right.
So
I
if
think
you
at this point,
had to,
we could just head to Vasselheim and send Marin a message that we had gotten a lead and are on our way there.
How would
Yeah.
we even get to Vasselheim from here?
we
I look
would
at
have-
Thurston.
we would have to get, I mean, either passage on a
North.
boat
Uh,
or something might be really
when
nice.
Faraday and I came this way from Vasselheim, we were on a sea ship.
And then we walked once we hit the coast.
Yeah,
Mhm.
same with Kat and I.
So I'm not entirely sure where we can pick up a ride going the other way.
Iman, I think.
Cujo, do we know? So looking at the map we've got, we only have Taldore.
Mhm.
Because we've been to Vasselheim before, at least some of us have. What city in Taldore would be like equatorally, like
There
horizontally.
there
Is
isn't
there
one.
nothing? It's too north.
Scylla is further north, but I think the only place that you would leave from
Would be
on that
Amon.
side of the continent would be Amon. It's probably where we would have come in too,
True.
because and they also, I mean, in theory, I don't think we could afford it.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, I got we could look for more or less I guess less strenuous options.
Well,
Is there do
Magic?
we know if there's anywhere that links up
Think
to
so.
there?
whatever the best route is, I'm sure that between the 5 of us, we'll be able to find a way to book passage.
I did upload a world map to the handouts folder, but I'm trying to find a bigger file of it so we can
Yeah.
actually like read the text.
Wow, I do not. You can tell that I have never actually seen this map because all of this shit is so not where I thought it was.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's further north than I originally thought. Like it's a lot.
Like I knew Teldori. I know Teldori pretty decently, like as a player and
Yeah.
like a consumer of the content, but like, and obviously
Asura
Wild
hasn't
Mount a little
been-
bit, but
I mean, it hasn't been tackled much yet, so there's not much
mm-mm.
we know about it aside from the major cities and
Yeah.
And I forget Marquette's its own like
its own
whole
continent
thing.
down
Yes, it's a
south.
whole continent.
But yeah, Asura is west
I
and
put one in the Discord chat.
Awesome.
but yeah, I mean, we're basically going. Just wondering if there's an easier when you were in Vasselheim last, do you recall if there's any other way to get in and out that's not traveling by boat?
I don't think we really looked.
What?
We didn't really, you know,
How
Dermot
long-
and money.
How long would it take to get to Vasselheim? I mean, when you guys traveled, how long were you guys on your ships?
Couple weeks.
That would have
Um,
been about 3 weeks journey.
Exactly how long he's been missing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if he transported via some sort of transportation.
Yeah, I
circle.
imagine
That was
that.
my thought.
Imagine someone as skilled as Gilmore wouldn't need to travel by ship.
Well, that's how he gets
No.
between
You know,
his
he's able
stores.
to. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's able to get back and forth between all of his stores instantly.
Yeah. I mean, I guess.
Although I don't know if that's some slightly different magic
Yeah.
than like a regular just teleport.
And we
Teleport
know how,
wherever you want to go.
and
I
we know
mean-
how Vasselheim is with magic in general.
Yeah, he
Well,
doesn't have
of the arcane sort.
There's no store there, from what I remember.
Right. That's what I mean. Like, I don't know if teleporting between his stores is something that is specific to his stores,
It could
or
be.
if he can just do that.
I mean, I would imagine he has to have teleportation circles within the stores. I mean, I'm not as studied in magic, but that's the best of my understanding.
The most accurate.
So if he went from Whitestone to Iman via whatever teleportation, because we know he has
Mhm.
stores in both,
Yeah.
and then took a boat from Iman to Vasselheim, which can only imagine killed him the amount of time it took.
Oh, he probably was so antsy. We're talking to everyone.
Don't think we're going to catch up with Gilmore and Vasselheim. Not with the way that they can
Mm.
travel, but
I mean, we can look
I
for
still think
another
that-
method of travel.
he has friends in Whitestone, does he not? Ones that he might share more information with than us and Marin.
Marin of all of them?
I have a hard time believing that if he was gone on something important, unless it was, official business that he couldn't tell anyone. If he
The whole
could tell
time.
anyone, it would be Marin.
But the whole time we've spoken to Gilmore, he's been about protecting Marin, and he may not be giving her this information thinking it's protecting her. We could search his shop in Whitestone as well. That's where we knew he was last, to see if there's any indication.
I suppose
Would we be able to get
Maybe.
from Whitestone directly to Vasselheim?
Maybe not Vasselheim. That would depend. I mean, if he has a way to get probably from Whitestone to Amon though. If he has a circle and there's someone who can use it, I haven't done that, but if
We,
there's someone who could use it then or activate it, then in theory we could at least get to Amon and cut that portion of the journey out. Because otherwise we're still gonna have either
So
from
that's
here
a-
or
Yeah,
Another
if we go to Whitestone and find nothing and have to go to Amon anyway, that's
6 weeks.
6
it's a
weeks
lot.
wasted
Yeah, it's a long
just in getting to
Um,
Whitestone and then back to here.
I
Do we
suppose
s-
that's a DM question. How widely known is it that there is a portal from Whitestone to Amon?
I mean, I just
Not very.
assume. I just
we're
assume
just
that
kind of
they're
speculating.
Yeah, I assume that it's teleportation between his shops.
Yeah.
just
He's got a
because
shop
he
in
teleported from
Whitestone.
Whitestone to Westron
Mhm.
for that dinner.
Yeah.
That I assume that's how he travels. But
I mean, there's not that many versions of instantaneous travel.
Do we perhaps want to check the shop here first? See if we can understand his teleportation circles? Maybe we could even use it to get to
Okay.
Whitestone instantaneously. Have some idea of where
Yeah.
to go next before we travel for 3 weeks to a different continent my mother's going to kill me.
Don't
Um,
tell her about the different continent part.
Probably a good idea.
At least
You
not
have your
yet.
necklace. She won't be able to scry on you.
Yeah.
Keep it
Remember,
on.
the furthest he's ever been from home is Whitestone.
oh,
That's
the
true.
Or Jordan, whichever one's
baby.
further, but like that's it. That's it.
5 years.
We can
I
ask.
can- we can
we can
ask. We
ask.
can ask the. I mean, we can ask the woman at the shop.
Yeah.
I mean, we're here anyway, so it can't hurt. And if it can cut time off in either direction, seems like it's worth it to ask before we leave. So
Yeah. It
we
just
can.
it seems like a lot to travel all the way to Iman and then all the way to a different continent without knowing if that's what we truly need to do. If we can at least have some idea as to why he went, then we at least know what we're walking into and why we're going, other than search for Gilmore. If we know he's in trouble, then we go. If we know he's working on some sort of official business and he simply had to leave in a hurry and he's safe, then we don't need to travel to a different continent away from every other thing that we are also thinking about right here.
Are there any more charges of that bracelet?
Not until tomorrow.
Not until tomorrow morning.
Do you have the book, Arthea?
The what?
The book
From.
that you've been communicating with Gilmore in?
Oh, sorry. I have a lot of books right now.
My bad.
We need to be more specific. I'm accumulating a lot of them. Yes, I do have the journal. And I'll rifle through the various books and now like loose pages that got just stuffed back in my bag. And
Can
yeah,
I see? Can I?
here you go.
I take it. Do you have a writing device?
Back into the
Or I'll
bag.
take one off Thurston's desk. I write
need-
in the book to Gilmore. Gilmore, stop ignoring us. We know you're in Vasselheim. Answer us or we will show up and find you. just to see if it like gets him. Um, and then I say the situation is dire and we need your advice. And send it off.
Okay. You watch the golden glow circle and follow along with your scribblings, your writing in the book. Minute goes by. Another minute goes by.
This motherfucker, I swear.
You don't get
Um,
anything in response.
Dermot, you said that the cup, how many can you keep using it like over and over again? So, or is there a limitation like the bracelets where we can only use it a certain number of times per day before it needs to recharge or something?
I don't think Rig said that there was a limit.
Okay.
Although I'm sure if I know anything about similar items that use this kind of magic, I'm sure there is some kind of limit to it. Um,
We could
but
try.
I turn to Thurston and say, "Do you have a pitcher of water?"
He walks out the door and or like opens, peeks his head out. Jules?
Yes? Yes, how may I
Yes.
help?
Would we be able to get a pitcher of water, please?
Yes, of course. Give me just a moment. Walks away for a moment, then returns carrying a nice silver pitcher of water. Did you need glasses as well?
No, we
Oddly
actually
enough,
have one.
no.
And I'll
Oh.
just hold out the very,
Oh.
very fancy glass.
All right. He pours a little bit of water. It's about 3/4 full.
Okay.
Is there anything else you need?
Not at this time. Appreciated.
Of course. And he turns and walks down the hallway.
Do you
Thanks,
wanna-
Jules.
No problem.
Do you want to do the honors, Dermot? You've done it before.
Sure. And I take the cup
Just
in both hands and spend the next minute or two just concentrating on Gilmore.
Make an intelligence check.
Just straight intelligence.
Yes.
14.
You, as you're sitting and focusing, so the water's not doing anything, and then you remember Rick did. Boom, boom, boom. So after a good like 10 seconds, you realize like,
Oh, yeah.
and
There was another step to this.
then
Oh.
you
And I tap its index, pinky, middle finger.
Yep.
Yeah.
Watch somebody's like when we release all our VOD, somebody be like, "Oh no, it was Ring."
And I say, shit, there was another step to this. And I do the thing.
Okay.
Continuing to, of course, concentrate on Gilmore. You know, what he looks like, our relationship or whatever I need to focus on as part of that.
Okay. You focus, and once again, the water ripples, and you see the image of the southern gate of Whitestone. Now it's a little
Vasselheim.
bit later. Damn it! I keep doing that. Vasselheim. And,
Unless we are going to Whitestone now.
you focus in, and this time some time has passed, and you can actually see at the southern gate there are some guards speaking with some vaguely familiar faces. You recognize some of them as being from the Pride group that you guys had interacted with at Whitestone. They seem to be having some sort of tense conversation. You can't hear anything, but you can see that they're having a conversation with the guard before they inevitably split off and go further into the town itself.
I say I recognize some of those people. We met them in Whitestone during the festival.
Oh, jeez.
Um, that's we didn't. I don't remember interacting with them much, but I remember them being, you know, armed to the
Raucous.
teeth, raucous and armed to the teeth.
Yep.
So that is a bit troubling.
Hmm.
I mean,
I
nothing.
mean, I guess it's good to know that he hasn't changed locations drastically.
Yeah.
I mean,
And I,
we can check in the
reiterate.
morning
Yeah, I
again.
reiterate that, this image is essentially, 2 hours old.
Yeah, I was more wondering if he was popping around, but at least if we check right before we leave, we can
Hmm.
adjust if needed. But yeah, I maybe check his shop in the morning. If he has a circle, that would be useful. If it goes anywhere, that would get us closer.
Yeah.
Um, and at least if we get to Whitestone, assuming someone can activate it, that's not him. That could get complicated. But
Well, I'm still not entirely convinced we'll find anything in Whitestone that we don't already know. From what I can tell with this goblet, he's in Vasselheim. We should just head there.
we could
Right, but-
probably message Marin though in the morning and see if she knows if there's anyone he would go to in Vasselheim, if he has
Yeah.
contacts there.
Why did he go to Vasselheim?
Hmm. I mean,
She
if
may
we
not
can
know
go to
that one.
Whitestone for quicker travel to Vasselheim, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But
If it
outside of that, I'm not sure what
yeah.
we'll gain from such a lengthy detour.
I'm
Yeah.
still not entirely sure what we gain from traveling all the way to Vasselheim without understanding why we're going. Other than Gilmore is there. If Gilmore is there and perfectly fine and too busy to respond to us, then that's not necessarily a reason to go. If Gilmore is there and needs assistance or is in some sort of trouble, that's the reason for a 3-week journey. Him not responding to our messages just because he doesn't feel like it is not the reason we go.
No, that's a good point.
I'd also like to think that Gilmore has more manners than that, than to just ignore us out of hand for no reason.
I would like to think that as well, but again, it's a very lengthy journey. It should be done for a particular reason, not we're curious, but
also
because it is needed.
it's a very lengthy journey that if we get there and scry and he is somewhere else, I mean,
If we get there and he is already on his way back here.
that's exactly what I was
I
thinking.
mean, that's equally likely regardless of our destination.
I mean, I guess you wrote to Iman, correct? You sent off a letter, Thurston?
I did, yes, that was
I mean,
only
yeah, it was
yesterday,
but
right?
I mean,
Very
Uh,
recently.
if we're looking
today.
for advice or insight or something,
What did you
I would
learn from the
ass-
man that you spoke with?
well, he's as was described.
Unhelpful?
Not quite. I mean, Thurston was very persuasive,
Mm.
and
I would expect nothing less.
he was inclined to help us, I think, once he realized that it would impact his own life. So,
Did he
he's
give you any information?
it's not nothing more really than what we had previously. I mean, his comments were along the same lines as what we got from Gilmore 2 months ago, which is this shouldn't work,
Well,
which we knew already, but it does. So,
Thurston, you're
um,
from this continent.
Mhm.
Would Iman be the better place to go? I mean, if the Taldori Council is there,
I
would
I
they even believe
mean,
anything is going on?
it's a larger city if you're saying in terms of potentially research, then perhaps, but I can't say that I've ever spoken to the council, do nor can I guarantee that the letter that I wrote will even be read or considered. It is an attempt, but there is no guarantee that they will speak to us or care. I shouldn't say care. There's no guarantee that they have time to speak to us, particularly when, for the most part, they do not know who we are.
I would assume anybody,
Gilmore,
anybody who is, I guess, already studying things like this probably is already aware. Um, I mean, Estella had already, kind of flagged this as something, and it seems like Gilmore, at least as soon as he saw it, realized something was wrong. Even this asshole, Rendarian, took one look at it and went from being utterly unwilling to hear a word we said to suddenly offering assistance and some nice gifts.
Why why was he so okay with helping us? Didn't didn't Estella say that she was practically shunned from, like,
Oh yeah.
what's the difference?
The difference is that I think he's the type who sees what she does as being frivolous. She's a
Right.
stargazer, and not everyone puts much stock in that, especially given that what's done for the public and what's done in private in terms of research is a little bit different. It's one thing to tell someone that their love is written in the stars. It's another thing to study them in conjunction with how they function to make magic work. So he didn't bother to listen. He thought she was just coming to him with, some kind of overreaction. But once he took a look at not her stuff, the stuff that we have, um, he seemed more concerned, if one can call that concerned, at the very least intrigued.
Yes.
And I don't blame him. I mean, play, planes out of alignment impacts everything. If there's something there, it's something that is either eventually or already will impact how he does his own work, how magic functions, whether or not a spell can be cast or what happens when it does, whether magic just starts to do things on its own. I mean, what would happen if the Feywild, you know, just started bursting out randomly?
Be in a lot of trouble.
And that's probably one of the better scenarios, I would think, compared to some of the other planes. I don't think it was. I don't think he takes her seriously, but I think he takes what she saw more seriously once he understood exactly what it meant. Of course, doesn't mean he's going to find anything or that he's actually going to do anything beyond what he's already done.
No, I think he will. She said. He's intrigued now. He
Yeah.
seems the sort that once you put the idea in his mind, it has to be followed through.
if nothing else, just to satisfy his own curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if he was
I
intrigued
understand.
enough to give you gifts, I'm sure that he is invested somehow.
Oh,
Yeah.
gifts. I think
Yeah.
I have it.
Yes,
And
you
Thurston
do.
awkwardly, he like pulls out a dagger and he holds it like he should not be holding a dagger.
And he's like,
You
But
just
yeah,
you pulled it like, let me just
Yeah.
You hold it like a pair of scissors, like here.
Like point. No, this is like, handle down, point to the floor
Yeah.
just in case.
yeah.
Adriel
He
like flips it in her hand a little bit when she takes it from
oh.
Thurston.
fans. No, I'm just kidding. Yes, he said there's some sort of a magical property that allows you to essentially teleport to the dagger.
Like with it.
Yeah.
You can throw it at something and then you can go to it. We didn't test this out.
I will just chime in with this, my lady. That seems very much in your vein of combat, says Gladius.
Don't-
I was like, which
I
voice
don't
is that?
disagree. She kind of laughs a little bit, like hearing. She's getting used to hearing Gladius in her ear. Thank you for not yelling.
I'm learning.
I would very much like to try this out. I'll refrain from throwing it into Thurston's wall, though.
I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Well, we still have those training dummies that Arthea was shooting arrows at. I can try it out there.
Where did we get training?
Jules found them.
There was an ugly
somewhere.
statue in your garden that he said we could use.
Oh, Uncle Cletus? Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
He said
Even
that.
decorated it a little.
Mhm.
I don't know where he found everything, but I'm assuming it's just in a storage closet somewhere.
The nose might no longer be attached to it, but he didn't seem to think that it was a problem.
It was probably the biggest target on there if it was Uncle Cletus's, so that's fair.
It was pretty bulbous, wasn't it, Arthea?
It was pretty easy to hit. I'm not very good.
That was right before you shot me in the ass. Anyway,
I thought you said you weren't going to talk about that.
thought you said you weren't going to shoot me in the ass.
I mean, I didn't do it on purpose. It just,
Well.
It's weird what happens when
it's really hard to hold it steady, and it's fine. I've worked. I think I've got it down a bit better.
Yeah, it's fine now.
Okay.
So it
Well,
sounds
Oh,
like
So
it
I mean,
sounds like
thanks
we
for
have to
the
go
dagger.
to Yvonne.
I mean, it's
I think you mon. Yeah.
it's a starting point, but we don't have to go tomorrow morning at dawn if you want to go to this.
I think we need to
We're
figure
just
out
gonna
if we're
go
going to
rock
White's.
another party.
I mean,
I think we need to figure out if we're going to Whitestone first. But it sounds like regardless of what we do, whether we go to Vasselheim or not, Iman is the next stop.
we're gonna have to go through it. If we were to go to Vasselheim, we'd have to pass through unless we stumble upon some direct transportation.
And if we're
To be
talking to
honest-
anybody else about the things we heard today, we still have to go to Iman.
Yeah.
Mhm.
To be honest,
And-
I'm not sure that it's going to be worth finding Gilmore. I sent him messages in the book and otherwise, and if he wanted to respond, he would.
We can keep sending him messages, updating.
I think
him
if
where
he was
we
able to respond, he would. And he can't. And you don't find that troubling?
I find it troubling, but I don't know if Gilmore is our biggest priority. He's not even responding to Marin. I mean,
I mean,
Right.
it is
And that
very
doesn't warrant us trying to find him to make sure that he's okay.
what's the bigger priority, Dermot? The world or Gilmore?
they seem somewhat tied together at the moment.
I think the priority is finding Gilmore so that he can save the world. Because I don't know if you hold yourself in this high of a regard, but I don't think that we're equipped to save the world. At least not on our own.
You think I hold myself in that high regard? You haven't gotten to know me very well. I'm just saying that I think that instead of going to Vasselheim immediately, we might be able to find more assistance elsewhere. So I think spending some time in Amon might be where we need to go.
It's also very likely that it's not that Gilmore is ignoring us on purpose, that if he had to leave in a hurry, maybe he simply forgot the journal.
That's actually, yeah, that I was kind of on that same train of thought.
But he would have been able to reply to Ascending.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, there are. Does it always work? I think there might be conditions where it can get lost. I actually need to check that because I don't remember.
Cujo,
Yes.
can I roll an Arcana check to see if there's any reason why a sending spell like
Yeah.
this would not be able to be sent or received?
I will just give this to you because you actually did make this roll when you first attempted when you were
Oh.
in the room with Estella. The only instance that a sending would not be able to arrive at its destination would be if it were trying to pass through an anti-magic field of some kind.
Or if the person was on another plane of existence?
I think that was the thing.
can.
It could go across the planes.
It can.
It can
Mm.
go, however, it's not guaranteed. There's a 5% chance it doesn't arrive.
Okay.
So we know that there are a couple conditions where we could send out and it may
We've
not.
seen circumstances when it goes across planes.
We have. But there are situations where it can fail. I mean, an area that dampens all magic, nothing can go in and out,
Yeah.
which could be
Does
fine.
Vasselheim have conditions that dampen all magic? I mean, I know they don't like magic, but
They don't like
They don't like
arcane
arcane magic.
Yeah. They're not fans
Our
of
magic. Well,
my magic.
Arthea, Thurston's
Yeah.
magic.
It makes me
My magic?
Not
It
really
makes-
sure that this is a place that we should go then. Come understand.
Dermot might be okay.
it makes me itch a little.
I mean, we'd all be okay if you weren't just like throwing fireballs all over the place. I heard a story about someone who did something like that once, had the entire city up in arms on a big, massive manhunt.
Did they find him?
I don't remember. I don't think so. I think whoever they were chasing either summoned or polymorphed into some kind of like demon or something.
Oh.
I might have my details wrong.
I mean, I guess that's one way to deal with it. But yes, Vasselheim is. They have very strong feelings about certain things. But either way, there are
If-
things that don't. There are things that can prevent a sending from going through, but the more we send, I think it would be more likely to be anti-magic if it's continually not received versus the other option. And not that I want to send him 100 messages because that would be really obnoxious.
well, maybe it would be obnoxious enough for him to respond.
What I love about this whole conversation is that everybody has a different thought of what's happening with Gilmore. Thurston believes everything's fine. Dermot believes he's in danger. Cat thinks he's ditching you. And like Faraday and Arthea are like, kind of a bit of everything. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know if he's in danger,
I
but
think
the
he's unreachable.
circumstances the circumstances, I think, warrant an investigation.
I think he's unreachable. I don't know.
I-
I mean, that could be a bad unreachable, like, stuck
Mhm.
in a bubble of anti-magic and can't get out. Or it could be a decided to go to another plane to go investigate something. I mean, he's very powerful, it seems.
Well,
I
would
think it warrants investigation, but I don't think that investigation means immediately going to a different continent that sounds like is not very welcoming to the majority of our group. So
also
we start the
really-
investigation at home.
Here. It's also really expensive. Like, I spent all of my money making this trip once before.
well, then let's do this. We'll visit his shop
Mm-hmm.
in town here tomorrow. See what kind of information we can get from the manager,
assistant.
and see if a more reasonable and expeditious means of transportation could be made available to us from either Whitestone or Amon.
Yes.
We'll go to Faraday's party,
Mm-hmm.
and then the following morning, I'll try and contact Gilmore again.
And we can
If
do
he
another
still
scry.
doesn't, if he still doesn't respond, we can try and scry on him and see where he may have been,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll have updated information, and we can decide from there.
I think that seems
That's
perfectly
as
reasonable.
Good of a plan as any. Besides, I wouldn't mind seeing this Faraday that doesn't hold much back fight.
Oh, Faraday's gonna kick somebody's ass. I can tell you that right now.
Oh no.
Do we bet on her?
I plan to.
Of course.
Maybe
I
we'll
do
have
know that if there's high profile guests at this party, maybe there's someone else that will listen.
No, that's entirely possible.
I prefer
Not-
like people that will tell my mom that I went to a fight underground.
Well, I
Knowing
mean,
our
I don't
like
know.
the high profile guests will probably be your mom.
Oh.
I would pay good money for that.
we could always disguise you.
Yeah.
With that,
Yeah, we have disguise.
would
I have a
be-
disguise kit. Dermot,
I guess
can't
I
you
could
do
just
something?
wear something not as
Christian is just trying to
Yes.
wrap his head around his mom going to a bar fight.
It's
Yeah.
okay. It's less bar fight, more like bougie fight
underground
club.
fighting ring.
right.
Yeah.
Either way, just like
But
Hmm?
at a
Kristen, I
tavern.
mean,
Maybe. I mean, I honestly, if you're,
we could
I
find
think
you
his
an
mom would be
outfit. Yeah, it's small. We could find you an outfit if you'd allow us to dress you.
oh, that's a very kind offer.
That's a no.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't be
Yeah, that sounds
recognizable.
like a hard pass.
Well, that's tomorrow, right? We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
That's-
You can go shopping beforehand.
There's some clothes that are decidedly not you. Ripped pants, holes in the knees.
like on purpose?
Well, this is supposed to still be.
Artfully.
Yeah, this is still gonna be. From the vibe I got from the place was not gonna be like Jordan Village.
It was described as a hole in the wall tavern that had like no furniture.
Yeah, to be discreet.
So maybe underneath it, there's a hole.
I have a feeling it's gonna be a little more, maybe not quite Thurston style, but more than Jordan Village.
Well,
It's just a thought.
I mean, if there are going to be important people there, then some people like to take in that kind of entertainment.
True.
Who knows? Maybe somebody has, if not information, maybe somebody knows transportation.
Mm-hmm.
We could run into your sister and her fiance on a date.
Oh,
They're not engaged yet.
are you sure?
Not yet.
I better be the first to know. I have to sign off on her dowry.
Mm.
Like you pay him to marry her?
But that's what a dowry is. It's to help establish her in her new home.
So like it's like a one-time thing.
But
Yeah.
you're selling her.
No, he's not buying her.
He's
Yeah,
giving
I'm
her
not-
Like
money.
a generous donation.
Yeah.
It's appalling what you people do on this
It
continent.
pays for the wedding.
So why don't you just pay for the wedding
Oh, I already have to pay for the wedding.
and give them money to take her?
Not to take
Not to
her.
take her. It helps establish her. Think of it as a wedding gift in order to help them as they join together in unity.
You were gonna
Here's some
say
money.
holy
Please take
matrimony,
my
weren't you?
sister.
Sorry, Ken, what'd you say?
Yeah, go for it. What did you
Here's
say
some
again?
Here's some money. Please take my sister from my house. That's appalling.
You've met his sister.
I liked her.
Jesus Christ.
I mean,
Never.
it's not so they will take her. I mean,
Are you
she
sure?
can leave, but like, it's not so they will take her. It is simply again to help them as it.
So you're thanking
helps
them
them
for
esta-
taking her.
Oh my god.
That's not quite it. It
Yeah,
is a
there's no
show of
escape.
support.
It's a weird human custom. We all have them, and most of them don't make any sense.
There's just like,
But we
I
do
feel
them
it's
anyway.
complicated.
We
Isn't
don't
this
do that in
normal?
Nicodranus.
Oh,
I'm sure you do other strange things.
I mean, I'm
Yeah, they do. I've been there.
See?
what's strange? Our pastries have nice cinnamon in them.
Your food has a lot of spices. A lot. Like no, like more than really are needed.
No.
No, there's a lot, and they don't always go together.
You people.
Everything is bright and loud, and then the entire part down by the water smells like fish.
It's a harbor.
Yes,
They
I
sell
know.
fish there.
I know, but it makes everything smell like fish.
I'm now convinced that you guys have touched on literally every possible topic you could have while sitting in this study.
At this point, Verde has like fallen asleep. Like she's just like,
It's fine. It's fine. She has to prep for tomorrow's fight.
yeah, this is true.
I was kind of
Anyway.
inwardly hoping that when Faraday falls asleep, she falls asleep like Spencer.
Yeah.
Isn't Faraday sitting on a desk? So is she gonna just
She
slowly like
is.
tip off?
Yeah, she's gonna slowly just like lay down across the desk.
Thurston's sitting by his desk like,
I'd really like to go try
I,
out.
I
Like-
see this start to happen. Like Faraday starts to
Cat.
lean, and without leaving the conversation, I cast Mage Hand just to like gently guide her onto the desk without letting her fall off it.
Jesus
Just like a
Christ.
cat.
Levitate her
No,
to a bed or something.
no consideration.
Really like to go try out this dagger outside.
Arthea's gotta go
Well, let's
look at her new present
Let's do
outside
that.
anyway.
New present
Alright.
outside? What? Oh! You
I
had
mean,
them
I
bring it-
assume you want the brazier and the charcoal for something.
Yeah. that's-
Otherwise, we lugged it across town.
No. It's for a spell. I don't want to cast it in the house though. It's gonna take some time and it's gonna potentially smell.
That's why we have them put it out back.
All
I
right,
don't
well,
want to stink up your house. It's
I
spicy.
appreciate it.
And I'm not sure if the spices and the incense are really gonna blend very well, so I figured
It's gonna
outdoors.
smell like patchouli.
Yeah, pretty much. But like burning patchouli. Sorry. But at the end
What's
of
the
it,
plan?
hopefully we'll have an owl.
No,
Uh-huh.
how do you? Okay.
I think an owl. I'll have to think about it.
the plan
I'd very much like to see
is-
that.
I guess I'm going downstairs to go spend an hour and 10 minutes.
All right. You guys,
Outside.
whoever is joining her, as you make your way outside, you can see the bronze brazier laying on the garden floor. And you can also see Jules, who is dragging the statue back to its position.
Jules,
Yes.
is it okay if I use that?
Well, yes, I figured you both were making your way down the stairs. I just figured it was going to be time for practice again.
Yes,
Oh.
perfect. Not for me though, not Arthea.
Oh.
No.
Well, there you are. I'll just. He like quickly like power walks away from the statue.
Did he say how this dagger works? Do I just
You
push a
throw it at,
button?
you throw no,
back.
no, you throw it at things.
Just throw it.
And you hit thing. When you hit the thing, you can choose to go with it. So if you, so
Okay.
you'll end up right there.
I
It
throw it
also
at the
should, it al-
statue?
it also should have a little bit of extra. How do you phrase it? Like extra oomph behind it.
Go ahead, make an
Throw it
attack
really
roll.
hard at the statue.
Make an
Let me see
attack
if I
roll.
can find my note.
Oh,
Real
cool. That
fast.
was a natural one.
That's
So,
not bad.
Not so much.
You're
on
just
drugs.
not used to the balance.
Yeah, it is a little bit fancier.
It's really fancy and it's really light for its size.
I'm used to these
You-
swords.
You throw the dagger, and almost like wanted, you like curve it perfectly around the statue, but then you hear it like land in the brush. Jules actually steps in, picks it up. I've learned that, and he actually like positions himself around you. If you wait to the last moment, flick your wrist, and almost point what it is you're throwing at. It might actually help.
Okay. She takes it in her hand again and just does like a couple practice, like,
Mhm.
and then just
Limber. And
lets it fly.
flick. All right, make an attack roll. I'll say with advantage.
Did my dice roll you a natural 1?
No.
I bought her
That
cat bought her Cadriel dice for her birthday, and I was gonna be really upset if the first
Aw.
roll was a nat 1.
no, that was my actual Cadriel dice. The ones in the skull. 9 plus 3 is 12.
The dagger and impacts into the stone. You can see that the tip has sunk in. Well, from your spot, it's stuck into the statue. And as it's there, you can feel this sense, this little thread in your mind that you know if you reach out to, something might happen.
I kind of like grab
Oh.
onto that in my mind and picture myself right at the statue at the dagger.
And just as you focus on that thread, your vision zooms, and you guys watch as she turns to black smoke and then reforms with the dagger in her hand as it is sunk in the statue.
Oh.
I grab Gladius off my back and stab the statue again.
Screw you, statue!
Oh,
Thurston, was this the statue you thought it was?
Yes, that's great Uncle Cletus.
It's like a bust statue of Uncle Cletus, but because he had some stink face issues, it's stuck with him like this.
Charming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pull the dagger out.
Cujo, while all of this is happening, I am beginning to read my new introduction to artifice.
Okay.
Introduction to applied
Idiot's
Artist-
Guide to Artificer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Magical engineering.
yeah.
I like it.
And I am going
Yeah,
to pop my magical tinkering, and I am going to create a I am going to create what looks like probably like a 4-inch on a side cube, 4 to 6 inch on a side cube. And it's essentially like a clockwork music box. And I am going to record 6 seconds of Faraday's theme song.
Oh,
And it's going to start with me shouting in my best Carnival Barker salesman voice, the Fire of the Feywild. And then it's going to be like the first couple bars of Faraday's theme song.
that's adorable. What do you need to do? Can you just make that?
I just do it.
All right.
I
takes-
imbue a tiny non-magical object with a magical property of my choice. One of the options is a up to 6 second long recorded message, nonverbal sounds, odors.
Okay. I'll say it takes you close to an hour as you're reading through the first like chapters of this book,
Mhm.
and you're almost kind of taken off guard by how simple this is compared to what you just finished helping Rick with at his shop. So yeah, within an hour, you have this teeny little music box.
I finish it and then I run over to Faraday. Check it out! Look what I did! Like a 6-year-old showing his mom something. Mom, look at me! Look at me!
She,
The music box plays, and you see it's got this like faint green glow about it as it is activated.
how did you make this?
This is what I've been working on. I'm trying to expand my skill set. Do you like it?
I love it.
No.
Yeah.
I kind of do one of these. Yes.
All right. What happens next?
Yeah.
Yes. After she watches you throw the dagger and actually takes a look at sort of the how it works, she's probably going to try and break it down in her mind. Just and then just no, not right now. Focus on the
No.
other thing.
One thing at a time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. That's a later thing. Deal with that later. Right now. Razor, familiar. So she'll sit down and lay out or pull out the materials that they purchased and open her spell book to the ritual and start laying out everything and going through the words. It's going to be quite a while. So she's going to sit basically in the backyard mumbling to herself, looking like a crazy person for a little bit.
How long is it supposed to take?
Hour and 10 minutes.
9-10 minutes. Okay.
Yep.
Faraday just starts doing laps, like she does like balance it like on a balance beam, like around the garden on like the wall and then like on some of the statues and around the fountain, and just like kind of just she keeps an eye on Arthea and just kind of keeps herself occupied as she goes around the garden.
Question. What is
what's
the dagger that I can add to my inventory?
I've yet to make the D&D item itself.
Okay, That's fine. I wasn't
and
sure if there was anyone.
And I honestly don't even know what to call it necessarily. I'm almost tempted to call it the Dagger of Displacement because it just
Ooh,
sounds
I like it.
Yeah, that's good.
pretty fancy.
I mean, I know what
it-
it's based on, obviously, but
Yeah.
it's not that.
You have a +1 to your attack and damage rolls. And as a bonus action, after you throw, you can activate it, teleport it to it. I think I'm going to limit it to 30 feet. But you can
Oh,
teleport
that's
to it
awesome.
and then continue your attack action if you want.
Cool.
There is one flaw. Where Whisper, you could throw it and have it teleport back to you. This is only you teleport to it.
Okay.
Real quick, funny bit. Faraday, as you're doing balance beam and acrobatics, you're noticing Jules takes notice of you and starts like adding like garden ornamentation to like a crazy weird American Ninja Warrior obstacle course.
And from her office, Sabelina is looking at her garden
Oh
and
no!
just going, okay, they make my son happy. This is fine. This is fine.
At least she
And
knows that Jules
actually-
will make it all go back to normal.
Actually, Faraday, go ahead and make me an acrobatics check.
Ah, shit. My dice are gonna betray me because they rolled so well on Sunday.
Mm.
Oh, never mind. 26.
Nice.
So you take this almost as a challenge, and
Oh,
you start doing more acrobatic movements in between each ornament. And for a split second, basically you're approaching this like large flower pot made of stone, right? And the rim is maybe 4 inches wide, more than enough room for a foot to land on. As you're jumping through the air to land on it, you swear you see it shift a little bit, almost as if it was trying to trip you up. But you right your footing, you land perfectly, and then kind of look down, and it just strikes you as odd.
Can I do a perception check?
Sure.
Just to see if, like, Jules moved it, maybe? Because, like, Faraday is fully convinced, like, he's all full of
Oh, yeah.
magic and, like, Mary Poppins kind of shit.
It's like
That-
he's made of magic.
Like, he is a construct made of magic. I don't know. She doesn't know what he is
Mm-mm.
or how he does it, but she is convinced he is some sort of, like, fey magic something. Or,
Okay.
like, just something moving. I don't know. But because, yeah.
He's actually the big bad of the campaign.
I mean,
Don't
we don't
beat
know.
us there.
13.
Who's the butler?
13.
Oh wait, no, I get. Oh no, she doesn't have her shield on. That would be stupid. She doesn't have her shield on her.
With a 13, you're looking around, you don't spot Jules until you look down and to your left, and he is like holding the object. Sorry, I just thought I'd make it a little bit more challenging. What's odd though, is he was not there a moment earlier.
Parker.
I leave you to. I apologize. I just figured I'd have a little bit of fun.
It's okay. You can certainly stay. I enjoy a challenge.
I should have had you act as a moving target when I was teaching Arthea to shoot.
And you see, he like puts his hand to his pearls that he's not wearing. Well, I will,
Not you. Faraday could have dodged
Oh,
them.
right.
Oh.
Yeah,
You
Cracked
see
them out
he,
of
like-
the air with her whip.
Maybe while we're on the road, since we won't have statues to aim at.
There's plenty of trees. I wouldn't want to bury a dagger in you. My aim is pretty good.
And finally, Arthea.
Ah.
You spend your hour and 10 minutes mumbling to yourself over your.
increasingly pungent.
Yes. You guys are like having your conversations as you're hanging out in the garden, and now you're just getting this smell of.
Yep.
Just not okay.
Yep.
It's really all that you can call it. Just not okay.
Yeah.
Until eventually you finish the incantation and all of the spell components start to glow and slowly combine into this whirling ball until there is a flash. And what emerges from the flash?
It is a little owl.
Hmm.
So it is, which is the actual species. So this is the Athena owl. It's very tiny. It's basically like 6 inches tall.
Oh,
Big eyes,
They're very
really,
cute.
really fluffy. Yeah, it's big eyed, really fluffy, lives in the woods, and it's probably like yay sized. Basically a puffball.
love it.
And in her case, probably celestial, since I can
Okay.
pick. So yes, it's a little cute little fluff ball of an owl.
There's the flash of light that tends to linger for a moment as it sort of courses along these small baby feathers on the creature before the light eventually fades and then locks eyes with you. And then slowly does the owl waddle
Yes.
towards you and then like does a little like nip at your hand.
Oh my god, it's adorable. I forgot how cute they are. She's like giving it like head scratches.
It
Which-
does there's videos of owls being pet. Their
Mhm.
eyes go like this as
Uh-huh,
they're like
they do.
totally into it.
Yeah.
And they make little birds make little chirping noises like a cat purrs.
Mhm.
Just picture some chirping noises. I can't do this.
Yeah. Little chirping noises. She'll kind of just like, kind of scoop under it, let it kind of step up and put it up here.
It like takes a second, almost like a dog like circling,
Yeah.
trying to find the right position before it finally does, and then it just sort of sits.
Jules,
And you can feel it kind of
do you
do
have a
one of these.
mouse?
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. I'm gonna have to get bird food. Well, you can hunt.
It just blinks at you.
She can hunt. I'm sure she
Sure.
can find. I'm sure she can find mice in the city
In
or
the city,
other-
I'm sure.
or other things.
I certainly hope that she doesn't find mice here. Like
Mice are everywhere.
Well, if she
Sure,
does,
there's some in your stables.
mm,
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I'm sure she can find. I'm sure she'll be fine. Her name is Stella.
You say her name is Stella, and then you watch the owl like have this moment of recognition where their eyes like go wide for a second and then readjust, and then they go back to
Sorry about the smell. I mean, I knew it was going to be not great, but I didn't expect it to be that bad.
Hopefully a nice strong breeze comes through.
Yes.
right. What do the
Just
rest of
gonna
you
pet
guys
this
do
for
with your
like the
night?
next 2 hours.
Stella's all about it.
Yeah.
Time is it? What
Nothing in
time is it?
particular.
By the
I'd
time
say
we're
at
done
this
with-
point it's getting close to like 9 or 10.
Yeah.
So the sun is definitely set and the garden is lit with some small torchlight, more accent lighting, if anything. But Jules says, I can prepare your rooms if you'd like.
I feel like we should. It's been a
We're gonna
long
be
day.
leaving soon.
Well, it's been a long day. We have a long tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
To be done right away. And you see him walk towards the garden, and he walks past like some bushes. And did you guys watch him walk behind the bushes? He does not walk out the other side.
I'm gonna learn how he does that one day.
maybe I can
I
send
like
her
you
off to follow him.
Guys are just really obsessed with Butler, and it's
It's
kinda
weird.
Do you find it concerning he just shows up? I mean, you could be in your room alone and say Jules, and he would show up right next to your bed.
Yeah.
Right when Kat says
Says
Jules,
Jules.
I give it like a half second to see if Jules actually shows up. And when he doesn't, I'm gonna cast a major image right behind Cad.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's so mean.
It's so good.
And he startles me, and I immediately pop out my shroud.
And when I manifest him, it's just Jules saying in Jules's voice, yes, you called my name. What can I do for you?
Shit.
And you
I'm just-
pop out your shroud. I mean, again, in Jules' voice, it'll take a bit more than that, young lady.
Looks around. If anybody was standing
Not
close
me.
to me, they have to make those charisma saves. But
Sure, this will be funny.
Yeah, sure. Why the fuck not? 12.
I think the DC is 13.
Natural 20.
24.
Yeah, Faraday's scared of me.
It's more like she was looking for jewels and not expecting the spectral wings. So like she just like falls off of whatever like garden, like the small garden like back of the bench she was standing on.
Sorry, Faraday. And I put them away as soon as I realized it's just a spectral, like, major image jewels.
That was quite good, though.
Scared the shit out of me.
Actually, I need everybody to make a wisdom saving throw. Or else you think it's really jewels.
Wisdom saving throw is
13.
15.
20.
15 is the DC.
Shit!
Good thing I rolled a natural 1 then.
Yeah. DM's call if I don't know what you want to say 15 does.
What is it? Meets the AC? Or the save?
The DC.
I would say that just like making an attack roll against somebody's AC, you'll be able to disprove the illusion, but just barely.
I know what my butler looks and sounds like. Thank you.
And you guys all look over at Dermot, and he's like
So I rolled
shaking, trying
Yeah.
to hold in the laughter.
So if I didn't make it, I think it's really Jules, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I look at the major and say, Jules, I didn't need anything. I just was talking about when you appear.
Dustin.
Jules said,
Just give a
leans
step
in real close, doesn't touch you because he has no actual physical form, but leans in real close and just in like a regular, pleasant voice, oh, my mistake. And then like disapparates in a cloud of butterflies.
Would I know that the butterflies are one of Dermot's hijinks?
Let's say make an insight
Probably.
check with advantage.
Probably.
22.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I just go, damn it, Dermot.
And at that
But it was
point,
good,
you just
though.
Dermot just explodes with laughter.
Damn it, Dermot. A phrase that we need to start putting on shirts.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
But that was a really good illusion.
Was really funny too. Yeah, really funny.
It was a gas.
So, the night draws
And that's my
to-
third level spell slot.
Well, we're going to
Fine,
bed.
we're going to bed anyway.
At
thought
which
my
point, the
8-hour
ninjas,
cooldown
at which point
spell slot
ninjas jump
well
over the
worth
hedges.
it.
Yeah.
I thought you could use some more warm up. The night
Yeah.
passes. You all
Yes.
find yourselves in nice, comfortable beds as you've grown used to, knowing that whatever tomorrow may bring may not include comfy beds.
Oh, that's
I'm
right.
falling asleep. I roll over and I say, Arthea, I accidentally slipped in front of Faraday and said I'd been having dreams.
Okay. I
Things are
mean,
happening. I
did she freak out at you or something?
no, but I haven't told anybody else.
I haven't told anybody else either. But maybe it might be time. I don't know if they're important or connected or if they're just something else entirely, but we're going to be traveling together. I feel
I
like
tell them before we leave.
I would, and I will, I guess is probably the better way to put it. But I just think, I don't know, things have gotten very complicated. and very weird. And we're going to be traveling together. We need to be able to watch out for each other. And we can't watch out for each other if we don't know what we're watching out for.
You know, if I tell them, they
They'll be
might
fine.
prefer if I don't stay with you.
They'll be fine.
Have a day, I guess.
They'll be fine. And besides,
To
if they
just kind
kick,
of,
if they kick you out, then I'll go with you.
you don't need to follow me. You're better off with
Mm,
them.
mm. I mean, if they decide to turn their backs on you because of that, no, I don't think I am. Then they're not the type of people that I thought they are. But I don't think that'll be the case.
Know that I could blame them if they did, but I guess we'll see what happens.
I can blame them.
I suppose you can.
I'm gonna open
Anyway.
a window for my owl.
You open the owl, and Stella is positioned like right on the windowsill. Just
Yeah. Just you can fly. You can go out if you need to. I don't know, eat, hunt, I think.
you
And
watch, you watch Stella. The moment you say you can go out to hunt, you see them do. And owls are hilarious. Like, yes, they're like beautiful and wise creatures.
No,
until
they're
you
dumb. They're
watch
weird as hell.
fucking
They're so
videos of
funny.
them being dumb. There's
Love
one
them.
of an owl doing like this.
Yep,
So it
the
like
dance.
waddles to the window opening and then just
Yep.
takes off.
When we travel, I will teach you a few words in Celestial. You might respond better to them.
That would actually be really nice. Oddly, not one of the languages that I studied.
Well.
It seemed kind of, oh God, it sounds terrible. Pedestrian. I picked the weird things. Mostly because they were weird.
I don't know many other people that can speak Marquesian and Thieves' Camp, so
Yeah, Thieves'
I'm
Camp
right
makes
there with
no
you.
goddamn sense.
Ever again. Never again.
I'm gonna buy you that book.
No book. No books. No.
When
No.
we make that grand to-do list of all of the shit on our plates, we definitely need to make sure that we do not forget that poor Gart's tomatoes.
That's true.
Mhm.
We could send a gift basket. Yeah, so I will
thought we bought him
will
tomatoes at the
probably
fruit stand.
oh shit, I think we did.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
we did.
We did.
And
We
Dermot
gave him a
them to him.
basket. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will stay up probably for the first 4 hours.
Okay.
While Cat goes to sleep and
I
hopefully
have
see
that.
if my owl comes back. See if my owl comes back before I go to bed.
The owl does come back, and Stella kind of waddles towards the windowsill towards you, and you can actually see a like bread roll in their
Oh.
mouth.
Okay.
Freshly
Owl.
cooked. You can still feel like the warmth.
Owl after my own
Steal
heart.
that?
See it. You see Stella slowly drop it on the windowsill.
Oh no, you can still have it. I mean, you took it already. It's
They
fine.
pick it back up and immediately start digging in.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go and meditate for a bit. If you could just kind of, I don't know, keep an eye out. Keep an eye
You
out.
say
Fly
keep
around.
an eye out, and then as its head is like in the roll, it like perks up and then immediately starts putting its head on a swivel.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you could fly around. It's whatever you do.
It starts to fly a little bit in the air,
Oh.
and it does the same thing.
Okay. We'll work on it. We're gonna work on this. If there's anything really, 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 just come and peck at me.
You see As you say that, it stops flying, goes back to its roll, and then nods.
And I'll go sit down on my bed and attempt to take a 4-hour meditation and, think on the 20,000 things that we're doing. Try and piece thoughts together into something that is semi-coherent. Make a list.
Okay. Sleep eventually takes you well, or meditation in the elves' case. And you are awoken by the smell of freshly cooked breakfast. You can hear the hustle and bustle of the city outside your windows. And you guys find yourselves well rested.
Nice.
Pardon me while I
Sounds
again
good.
find the thing. Yeah, you guys smell bacon. You guys smell freshly cooked bread. There's just so many beautiful smells that are making their way in your nostrils. What the fuck?
When we wake up, Faraday will go to Dermot's room and knock.
Okay.
I after a moment or two, I come to open the door.
Do you have the cup? That cup you brought.
Yes. Yeah, it's right over here, and I reach into mine. I go, invite her into the room, go to my pack, and retrieve the cup. What are you thinking? You have that look in your eye.
I just want to test and see if these necklaces actually work. If this thing scries on people, it shouldn't work on us. Right?
That is true, actually.
I just want to see if these necklaces actually work. Before we do anything concrete. So kind of mimicking Dermot, she will grab his water skin, because hers is currently filled with honey mead.
Oh yeah.
And she'll pour water in and then say, okay, do the thing, but think of one of us.
I will. I do the thing and think about Faraday.
You tap your fingers and you see that there's like this cloudy image where it's like trying to form something, but it can't, so it's just endlessly rippling. But there's no clear image that comes through.
Well,
Apparently, it can't find you.
maybe it just, maybe it just took some time.
I don't know if that makes me feel better or worse.
Well, now theoretically we can make better plans. If we're going to be going to the Feywild, which I feel like we will be, we can't tell that Singorn will show up eventually. And if that's where we're going, I want to make plans without anybody watching over our shoulders. I also think it might be good with the necklaces in place. It must have taken a little bit to actually work. If we do go to the Feywild, I feel like we should have some sort of, I don't know, code word or something that only the 5 of us know. Whether it's about each other or just something, just in case. What do you think?
That's probably not a bad idea.
Okay. That's all. I thought about it when I was trying to sleep, and we have bigger things to worry about at the moment, and that's not where we're going, so. For now, just something to think about.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll skip on out for breakfast.
You guys all have a delicious breakfast, freshly cooked. Jules prepared it himself. You guys are all well fed. You guys do notice that Sabelina does not join you, but Jules does mention, oh, she's taking food in her office this morning. But other than that, the day is yours.
Should
I'm-
we venture to the shop now?
I think so, before they get busy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. You guys make your way out onto the streets of Westron. Apparently, there's somebody who's kicking a pot down the street. I don't know what the hell that sound was.
Roadside
the
soup
weird thing.
stand, obviously.
But you make your way through the streets, and you can see Gilmore's Glorious Goods in its magical neon glory, sort of standing out amongst the drab look of all the other shops in the area. You can see the interior is lit, and you all make your way inside, and you see the same, I believe there's a half-elf lady behind the counter, sort of reading a book.
Looked at Thurston.
Excuse me. Hello.
Oh, yes, hello.
Yes, we are friends of Gilmore's and are hoping to be able to. Well, you see, we need to get to Whitestone, and he did say that in an emergency we'd be able to perhaps use the teleportation circle here in the shop.
Make a deception check.
Oh, snap.
Don't fuck me over. 22.
Oh, was not aware. He. All right. Right this way. And she actually leads you to the back room, where you can see that there are a stark contrast to the rest of the shop, which is beautifully decorated, everything bright colors and beautiful finery, and just everything looks top notch. This back room looks like okay, Sam, the back room at Lint.
I mean,
Just
alright.
like fluorescent
Fine.
lighting, just like a bunch of shelves with just a bunch of random items, and there's like a full box, yeah, I'll say cardboard box of just, it's with like a taped message that says unenchanted rings, and you see all these different kinds. There's like just simple iron rings, there's super beautiful ones, there's just all of them are just in one solid just pile. But in this room, which is about 15 by 15, in the ground, you can actually see inscribed into the woodwork is a teleportation circle. And she says, he is able to somehow modify where he goes in between his shops, but I trust you are aware of how to modify it at this point.
Of course, I believe that my friend has the details of it. So I trust her judgment. Thank you for your assistance.
I just need to
Anytime.
look at it.
Make an Arcana check.
Yeah. Yeah. Which one?
If Dermot wants to help Dermot.
Yeah.
I'd like to spend a minute. I'd like to spend a minute studying this thing
Okay.
so that I can't really do anything with it yet, but a minute
Okay.
is all it takes to learn it.
All right.
Is the shop person still
Ooh,
there?
26.
She actually does step away because in her mind, well, she seems to trust you guys.
We were
You said
going to
26?
Amon.
That's a
Trustworthy.
mistake.
26.
With a
I rolled a
26, you can see the runes that would signify like direction and location, and you revert back to a map of the world as you know it, and the direction does tell you it is in the direction of Imad.
Okay. So right now it's set to Amon.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So this goes to Amon. It's preset.
Take that as a sign.
Did we bring all of our things
Oh,
that we
God,
need with us?
No.
No.
We are so not
Well,
ready to leave.
Well, I don't think we necessarily need to leave
We don't-
now.
We don't need to leave yet, but this one looks like it was at least, I guess, previous use set to Amon. So
I suppose that tracks
I
if you went to
don't know.
Vasselheim.
he may have seen Marin had this fight
Came here.
and then jumped here and then
to
onward.
Amon.
He may also have come here through other means. Or he may have gone straight to Amon from Whitestone, but either way, I think at least the last transport from here would have gone there. I don't really want to mess with it and change anything.
Until we need to go.
Can you use it? Can you activate it?
Good question. It's permanent, right?
It is permanent, yes.
I don't have to then. I don't think. I
Just
think if they're
does?
permanent, they automatically will. So
They'll do
Okay.
the thing.
yeah,
that's
basically, so keep your feet out. Keep your hands, feet, arms, all body parts out of the circle.
As you're
they-
saying that,
She, like,
Catherine's just
steps
like
away.
about to
No.
re-
yeah, they
Stella flies up and like pecks at your hand and then like flies back to Arthea's shoulder.
Yeah, there's you can set ones permanently for places you need to go frequently. But they're kind of there's really no on off switch, so if you step in there, you're going.
Okay.
Okay.
And this is on, so if we need to jump, presumably it will take us, I'm assuming, to a similar room in his place at Iman. We may want to think about what happens once we pop out there.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
I leave that to Thurston. He's very, very good at talking to people.
Sam is a retail worker. He's just
I'm just
imagining
imagining up
5
six-
schmoes just like tumbling out of a storage closet
Yeah.
into my
Hilarious.
store.
Like,
Holy
some poor
shit.
shopkeep just walks back to go
Yeah.
go get the extra thing for a customer, and as they turn their back, 5 people just like pop out in the middle of the room that they've never seen before.
No.
I'm
They're
schmucks
They're
in
not
and out.
going
Back.
back. They're not going back there to get anything because they
No.
already told them
Yeah.
they don't have any more in the back. They're
back.
going back there to check their phone for
Oh, yeah.
a couple minutes, take a deep breath, and then they're gonna go back on the floor and be like, "No, we don't have it."
Yeah,
They talked to their manager already.
Karen is in the shop.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so we
Oh.
can. I mean, that's a direction.
I think it's
Well-
It'll save us. It'll save us.
weeks.
Yeah, it'll save us weeks.
Yeah.
As good as any.
I mean, plus side, once we're in Amon, it is a much larger city. They might be more likely to have a way to get to Whitestone if we do end up having to go.
Perhaps in that shop, there's another circle that maybe he just kind of hops
It'll-
around.
I mean, it looks like he can reset this one, but that's I don't
Oh.
want to have to explain to him why his circle is not working anymore.
I mean,
That's
I'm
fine.
happy to tell him that he went silent and we couldn't fucking locate him, so we had to do what we had to do.
Yeah, but if I tried to modify this, there is a possibility it wouldn't take us where we want to go either.
Yeah, let's not
Or
mess
it's-
with it.
or it might take some of us, or possibly pieces of us. I'm not really sure what happens when these things go wrong.
It's a better argument than Gilmore being annoyed.
I think we should take this as a sign.
Yes.
Mhm.
All right. So we'll take it when? Tomorrow?
You guys still. I do
You really want to
wanna
do this,
go.
don't you?
I do.
You do.
But-
it might be the last time we have a chance to do this for a while.
I told her that we could have Dermot throw another party in Whitestone after, but
I mean, Dermot could throw a
Dermot's
party.
ears immediately perk up.
I mean,
Party? What? Oh, me?
Party in Amon.
True.
I mean,
It's always birthday. Birthday?
Birthday?
It's always birthday.
I'm saying our parties have been pretty successful. You have to admit. So, no, well, we
mean-
can wait a day. If it's the last chance we have to have fun or do anything, then we might as well take it. I don't think the world's ending tonight.
should hope not.
I think people would be a lot more concerned than they were if that was happening. Also, I feel like we'd probably notice something. You know,
Hopefully.
I think there'd be more signs. Like the sky would go completely dark and there'd be demons crawling out of the abyss or something.
Now that you say that, the
God.
sky goes completely. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
There's an eclipse. We walk outside, everyone's running. All right.
Alright.
Well,
Okay.
we need to pack. Thurston needs to find something to wear.
Find an excuse to tell his mother.
I think it'll be
Do we
fine.
have to tell my mother? We don't have to tell her.
Would your mother be okay with you going to Amon? I mean,
Oh, are you talking about the party or Iman? I think the
Iman.
answer is no.
Ashley.
You know the rules,
That was
red
the
character sheep.
creepiest peek in I've ever seen.
I love it.
He didn't just peek his head and he was like,
Hi.
24/7. Yeah, that's my life.
Yes.
tell him that the internet wants him to play a game.
Well, he just went into the basement,
Oh.
so I'd have to yell real loud, and I don't think you guys want me to do that in your ears. So.
Yeah, there's
I mean,
mute.
you can always mute yourself.
No,
first.
it'd be way funnier to just do it.
to not do it.
Or I could just not.
no.
But yes,
All right.
we can come here tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Make sure we pack up. But tonight, you can have fun. Kick some ass. I
Or
know.
get
So
my
maybe
ass
what, like we were saying, maybe there will be someone there who will give us more direction.
Maybe.
At the very least, there'll be people there, and you can hopefully beat one of them up. Earn a little coin.
You won't have to fight Mako this time.
Or will you?
Be surprised if he just randomly showed up.
I mean,
It has
You're like,
been
"Damn
quite
it,
a while.
They saw through my plans.
Listen, I already beheaded that motherfucker once this week.
Yeah.
This is true. Yeah.
Never,
Yeah.
never again.
I
Never
heard, I
vocal
heard, I
sword.
heard stories.
Yeah, it was
Goddamn
pretty
vocal
great.
sword
Yeah.
is a game-breaking item.
Mm-hmm.
But so
Yes.
you guys leave Gilmore's. The shopkeeper kind of looks up, wondering why you didn't take the teleportation circle, and just shakes
Thank
it
you
off
for
and
your
goes back to-
assistance. We're going to grab our provisions as necessary. We wanted to ensure we remembered the proper instructions that Gilmore had given us before we took off. So we'll get
Sure.
our provisions ready and be back most likely in the morning, if that's all right.
Yes, I'll be here.
Thank you so much.
You make your way out of the shop. I'll say for the sake of time. You guys mill about the city a little bit. You guys get your provisions and whatnot. Then you start making your way towards Quincy's. Now, as you guys are making your way through the streets, you are noticing that there's a surprisingly not like on alert, but there are a couple more guards on the streets. And they're kind of meandering about. Just you can see that some of them seem to have this sense of relief about them as they're finally back home. But you guys make your way through the town, and you can spot where Quincy's is on the street, and you see a group of 4 other people enter. One is a lady wearing a strange wide-brimmed hat with a sort of flop of fabric at the top. One is a half-orc wearing some rather nice-looking armor under a not very good disguise cloak sort of thing. You see a halfling, and you see a bald elf all step into Quincy's. A couple moments later, some guards pass through. You make your way into the tavern, and these adventurers are nowhere to be seen. But Quincy is standing behind the bar, having just made a plate of cheese, some pieces of bread, and a bit of the olive oil and pepper mixture, and is just pouring a glass of wine. Oh, hello again. I trust you're here for the arrangement. He takes a sip, or they take a sip of their wine.
Thinking about it all week.
Good to see you again.
Pleasure to see you too, Dermot. Yes.
And I take off my hat at your service.
If you
I
wouldn't
should really
mind,
start wearing my big feathered hat.
Yeah, it's down here.
like in game.
I have it. Yeah. Wait.
Yes, love it.
Oh,
That's awesome.
wow.
I love it.
With the
I
big
love
head.
it.
With it. I can't wear it and my headphones at the same time, but yeah.
I shall return.
Ah,
So it's happening.
yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
Quincy gestures actually behind you and says, if you wouldn't mind, and gestures towards the door.
I'm gonna assume he wants me to close it.
You close the door, and as you do, Quincy moves to one side of the bar, still holding their wine glass, and reaches under, and you hear a click, and on the wall, you can see that some decoration is starting to go up a little bit, but it's still very new. Oh, Dustin, it looks
There's my hat.
fantastic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's gotta be a consistency now. Now we just need Rhodes to grow a goatee.
I don't think that was part of the agreement that I
just wanted to see
A-
what face
A
Rhodes
lot.
would make.
You would need a lot more subscribers for that.
Yeah.
yeah.
But you hear a click, and on the wall there is a sparsely decorated shelf that you can see actually sinks into the wall a little bit, and then you hear the creak of hinges as it opens to a hidden door. If you wouldn't mind making your way downstairs, I will be down there with wine, provisions, food, that sort of thing. So just keep in mind whatever you would like to drink, and I will be down there momentarily.
She gives a little bit of a bow and skips off through the door.
You
She
make
seems
your way.
very excited.
You step into this hidden room, and it actually leads to a spiral stone staircase leading downward. And you guys walk for almost a solid minute until almost none of the sound of the streets above reaches your ears, but instead you can hear sounds of merriment below. You step out into a large room that looks like surprisingly well made. This was not a roughly hewn cavern of any sort of kind. This is very clearly a hidden arena of some kind. The room that you step into is a large bar area that has 2 bars along the sides. And there are tables and chairs and people of all different kinds, all sitting, celebrating, being merry with each other. And there are some people sitting at the bars. At the other side of the room is actually an opening into a large, almost Colosseum-like structure that is built further into the ground. And there are some floating candles that sort of dot the ceiling to kind of give it a nice, warm, lit atmosphere. And yeah, everybody seems to be relaxing, having a good time, and you can spot those same adventurers sitting at a table on the other side towards the arena. And you can also spot Faraday Grimthorn making his way from table to table with a big old smile on his face as he has a Goliath bodyguard of some kind, just arms crossed, kind of giving the side eye to literally anybody that comes anywhere near Grimthorn. But as you all enter, Grimthorn looks and eyes Faraday, and then approaches. Last time I saw you, you were sporting some different colors. I appreciate the change in atmosphere.
I had to dress up for the occasion.
Welcome to the Brawlers League. Now, here's the question. So we've gotten you, champion to be, roped in. What about your companions here? You guys also partaking tonight?
I look over my shoulder at Cat. We're not
Probably
going to
gonna
Vasselheim.
I guess I am.
Wonderful. What's your name?
Cadriel?
Cadriel. Love it. Mark that down. You see the Goliath pulls out a little piece of paper.
That's Cadriel with a K.
Starts writing again. Thanks, Smiley. Anybody else?
Smiley.
Now are these
Pot's looking pretty nice tonight. Just saying.
pure? Is magic involved? Allowed? Encouraged?
Oh yeah, it's no holds barred. Just till incapacitation. Not
Sure,
we're
of
not
course.
trying to kill anybody here. But you know, we'll let you flex your magical arcane arts if you are of that persuasion.
She immediately looks to the other three.
Thurston is like trying not to make eye contact with anyone or anything. Like just
Are you doing
Um,
any
Dermot,
doubles matches?
Well, actually, with that group over there, and he points to the adventurers you saw enter, they're actually entering as a foursome. So, team battles are available and on the table.
I look at the rest of the group. What do you say?
Thurston, we fought to the death. This would be non-lethal.
well, yes, but it's different when it's literally for my life, like not just for I don't know what the joy of hurting people.
And gold.
all
Bragging
money.
rights. Money.
Kraden
That's
exorcist.
not the argument.
Thurston? Say
Oh.
Thurston?
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Oh, we got some noble blood. All right. Hey, I don't judge. We got nobles coming in and out here all the time. There's actually one right over there. It's all good.
And he makes sure he's not looking in that direction. Like he like turns his body kind of subtly.
looks in that direction. Who's the other
I
noble?
was gonna say.
Oh my god, please say Emery's. Please say Emery's.
It's
You
Please say
was-
Emery's.
Yeah.
Please say Emery's.
Yeah.
You do not see Sabrina, but
Oh, that's good.
That's
That's
You
what I'm
do-
hoping for.
not what
you
I'm
do
looking for.
see a younger human male, a little on the, I don't want to say lankier side, more like the swimmer's athletic build. He is wearing this silver and green lined coat, and he has long-ish blonde hair that does the 3/4 part like all douchebags do. Just kidding. Not you guys are, anyway. There's no going back now. But he is sitting and chatting with a tiefling woman, as on the opposite side of him is someone you do recognize.
Emery's.
And that, wait a second, pull up the notes,
Memories.
is Lord Algar Brothric.
Uh,
As he is sitting sort of surly at the bar, sort of eyeing everybody.
That was Gracia's boyfriend, right?
Yep.
Yes. What is he doing here? It's totally inappropriate for him to be here.
Can I look
You're
around
here,
and see if I
aren't
see
you? Go say
Thurston's sister
hi.
somewhere?
That's different.
Make me a perception check.
I mean, he's probably doing the same thing Faraday is.
25.
35. You scan the crowd. You do not see Thurston's sister anywhere. But you do recognize one human male with a brand in the side of his head sitting at the bar. As he just kind of like side glances and takes a drink of his whiskey.
Just say, Thurston, don't worry, your sister's not here. And then I kind of elbow Faraday and like point to the guy at the bar.
Well, I'll let you guys get all acquainted with the company. We did sort of book you as the fight of the night champ to be. So if you all want to join in on this, I have no problem with that. Just know that that group is kind of itching. Also, that dude,
Well-
and he points to the guy with the brand. I guess he was also kind of looking for something too. I don't know.
Where
Well,
do you
Faraday,
know
I
him
would
from?
love to fight with you.
Lauren.
If you want to.
Not going to Vesselheim. Possibly not
Let's
going
go.
to Vesselheim.
What about you guys?
You don't have to. Just thought it could be fun if they're allowing magic users. You don't
I
have
mean,
to.
Thurston, if you don't want to fight, you could always negotiate a better price on your sister from that guy over there.
That's not how it works. Besides, I set the price to begin with.
This needs to be a campaign-wide thing where you keep making slavery comments about Gracia.
No, that's horrible. She's
Right.
just like, why are you selling your sister? Like, what the hell?
I love it so much.
Selling her. It's a wedding present.
I mean, I guess could you like bet on the fight and like take that off the price? Like say Faraday wins and you can.
I mean,
you
I
know,
just don't understand why you have to pay him to marry her.
Bored of this
Shouldn't he
circle
want to marry
conversation,
her?
Faraday goes to
No.
goes to sit by Jericho.
I'm sure
It
he
can
wants
continue,
to marry
that's
her.
just she walks
Jeez,
away.
that's not how a dowry works, and I don't need to bet to make the dowry. Her dowry has been there since she was born. It's fine.
Faraday, you approach the bar and sort of plop down next to Jericho.
Yeah.
Who... Oh shit! What's up, champ?
Hey.
One whiskey, please. The bartender, who is a fearful gentleman, says, "Right away." He pours a whiskey and slides it perfectly across the bar into your hand.
Phenomenal. Thank
So,
you.
Nice to see you again.
Nice
Although
to see you.
I couldn't really be surprised. It's a fighting thing, so.
I am surprised that it took me this long to find you. You've been a hard
No.
one to catch around here.
I like sticking to the shadows a little bit. He clinks your glass and takes a sip.
She drinks.
Ooh. Western whiskey, good stuff. So what brings you to Western? Other than money.
Well, that friend of mine, and she kind of looks over her shoulder at the group that is now bickering over wedding dowry
About a
still.
Dowry.
Hey, you should make sure that you get a good price if you're really. I mean, I don't. Why would he want you to pay him? Is she that annoying?
Yeah, okay, that's a trick question.
We're
He-
staying.
He catches a little bit of that conversation. Right. Cool.
We're staying with the family.
Oh.
The family you were supposed to take a note to.
Oh. Right.
Yeah,
Ah, it may have messed up.
I
Sorry
assume
about that.
so. It's okay.
Well, hey, I mean, everyone's safe and sound, right? So technically, it's not that, it's all good.
And you bought me a drink, which means you've started to make that up to me.
I will continue to do so.
Very much appreciate it. Are you fighting?
I may have put my hat in the ring.
Hmm.
I'm just waiting for the right challenger, I guess.
Oh, well. I mean, I did promise my friend that I would fight with her against, teams, so I guess you would have to find a team. Or,
Yeah,
if you wanted to...
what? I'm feeling a little bit in the cooperative mood. Why, you offering?
If you wanted to join us. Some of my friends are a little reluctant, I think. We may have an open spot, I guess. I don't know, are you going to vanish on me again?
Oh, see, now you're ruining my plans. Totally. But, all right. Count me in.
Fantastic. We're supposed to be the headlining group. Yeah?
Well, of course. I mean, you gave the champ of Jordan Village a run for his money. Of course you're going to be the headline. Whatever happened
now-
to him?
He parted
Hearing
ways.
something
I
burp.
just heard somebody belch in my ear. Disgusting.
Hey, Windward, we can hear your belches from here. He shouts to the noble across the bar.
Oh.
As
Oh.
Faraday is
Stand
about
up.
as Faraday is about to answer that question, also having grown a bit tired of the
Mhm.
dowry conversation, Dermot
Just
comes
circles.
up behind Jericho and is like, and just says, "Nobody knows."
Nice to see you.
He was last seen on the road to Himan.
Verdi kind of like
But
gives him a shove away.
disappeared.
Like, gives him a shove.
That's
Adriel eventually ditches the dowry conversation in favor of getting a drink. She just goes,
You gotta have-
whatever.
you gotta have like a fight. You gotta have the last word. So what's the last word you have before you go to the bar?
Whatever. If you want to pay more, that's up to you. And then she walks away to the bar.
He's like offended on principle, like, oh, I could negotiate that if I wanted to.
Mhm.
You're like saying that as you're also approaching the bar.
But he's going to the other bar because he's a little bit annoyed right now.
Mm.
Oh God.
Oh no, you left Arthea.
She'll follow Thurston.
Stella's
alone.
like cuddling up next to your neck,
Oh, yeah.
also kind of like mimicking your anxiety.
Yeah. All of a sudden, everyone just left, and she's just like, "Oh, okay. I don't know. Nope." And she's gonna follow Thurston since everybody else is over that way.
Jericho looks to Dermot and Cad. Says, I know the champ's name. You guys are who again? I'm really sorry. That's really rude, but
And I tip my hat to him. Dermot O'Ferry.
okay.
Adriel,
Nice to meet you guys. Apparently, I'm fighting with you guys, along with you guys tonight. So,
what's your specialty?
let's say it's a surprise. Don't worry.
She
it's
like
nothing-
adjusts all of her like swords and her dagger on her belt.
Don't worry,
Okay.
it's nothing crazy. And as he reaches up and like scratches his head, you guys can see that there are scars along his arms.
Hmm.
Cujo, that was a 10 for my deception.
What was this your story about Mako?
Story about Mako, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much as you were saying it, Jericho's like, wow, really scary.
Oh yeah, and I try to like get all hammed up on it. Like it's a ghost story that we're telling around a campfire.
Quick cut to the other bar. Thurston and Arthea quickly behind. You find a spot near Lord Algar and the other nobleman, as they are, well, the other nobleman is enjoying his drink and hitting on the tiefling woman. Algar is kind of looking awkwardly and then locks eyes with both of you. Hello. What brings you he There's no way out of this, is there?
No.
No. However, perhaps we can come to an arrangement.
Ugh.
You don't tell the lady of the house that you saw me here, and I won't tell her that I saw you here.
I'd say that's a pretty solid arrangement. Woodward, and you see the other noble. What? Oh, hi. How's it going? Ooh, I like your owl. You see, he
Thank you.
drunkenly points at Stella, kind of glares at him with her owl eyes.
Sorry, she's a little. I think it's the noise.
Yeah, there's a lot of people here, and
There's
the
a lot
tiefling.
of people here.
He turns to continue the conversation with the tiefling who has meandered away. Use that as a
Escaped.
reason to escape. No. Sorry, Elric Woodward. Holds out
Hold out a hand. Just give it a. Is this like a
Uh,
drunken grip? Like the like.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
like a wet noodle.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
And you
pleasure.
look kind of familiar.
Is he pointing at Thurston?
Yes.
Yes, Lord Thurston Dollard.
Yeah, nice to meet you. My dad doesn't typically bring me to the nice fancy dinners ever, so I think I remember hearing your name tossed around a little bit every now and then.
It's a pleasure to at least be able to make your acquaintance, despite the circumstance.
Yeah, it's fine. It's a fun party. And Algar says, "So, what brings you all here? To enjoy the show?"
Our friend is interested in, I think, being part of the show, and she kind of peers across the bar.
Oh, what? That's exciting. That's the Faraday.
Faraday.
Is that her name?
Yeah.
Hmm?
Well, Faraday first, and then I think Cadriel might have gotten pulled into that. Well, I kind of pushed her, literally. I don't know
Wonderful.
about Dermot. He went that way too. I'm not sure if he's
Mhm.
fighting.
Well, it'd be interesting to monitor the fighting styles. I'm a student of martial arts myself, so it'd be interesting to see the combat kind of form decent. Sorry, I ramble on
They're
military.
no, they're quite good. Both of them, actually. Very different, but quite good. What
It'll be good.
do you study? You were
Frontline fighter. I've actually been signed up with the Shields, sort of a low commanding post, but I'm working my way up. Anyway, enjoy the fight, and he kind of gives a awkward fist to
oh,
Elric's shoulder and goes, "What the hell?" And then Algar stands up and meanders away.
Before he can wander away, Thurston will just kind of put a hand on his shoulder and say, this addendum to our agreement. You will never bring my sister to a place like this.
I can assure you, I never would dream of doing such a thing.
Perfect.
Thank you, sir. And he steps away. Eventually, the party is quelled by the sound of shit. I already forgot his name.
I'll be right
Grimthorn.
back. I need to pull something in from outside.
Oh, is the storm coming?
Uh-oh.
We're having
They-
Yay,
that is
weather!
yeah. We're getting the outer storms that are going over Chicagoland right now.
No.
Cool.
So great.
Mhm.
The sound of raucous laughter and merriment is quelled by a booming voice coming from Grimthorn as he actually has an elven woman with a wand pointed at his neck as it is amplifying his volume. him not being a magic user himself, he has to rely on the spells of others. Welcome, lords and ladies, gladiators and murderers, adventurers and legend seekers. Tonight, we have a glorious fight for you planned tonight. And everybody said, yeah! We have the champ-to-be from Jorn Village and her compatriots. What do we call you? Gestures to Faraday.
Damn it, Joseph.
I told you to start thinking of something.
Dermot just shouts Fiona's 5.
That's not our name.
Fiona's 5.
God damn
There's
it.
not even 5 of us fighting.
Faraday, we are not being called that from now on.
I think we might
Going
be.
up against the final 4. You can see the 4 adventurers raise their.
That's a way better
their
name.
tankards.
Why didn't we pick a better name? Thurston saying from the crowd, like, that's a way better name.
As usual, everybody is welcome to place their bets. We'll figure out what the odds are going to be here momentarily, but everybody could start making their arrangements, bringing their drinks to their respective spots in the Coliseum, and we will begin shortly. You can turn it off. I think you could turn off the thing. Stop it. And he slaps the wand. And the music continues, and people start lifting and making their way towards the bartenders to start placing bets.
I am going to turn Ophelia's coat like a dark purple color with like little stars on it. And then I go over to Arathea and take it off and say, will you hold this for me? Because it like it's kind of in her style. Don't want to get blood on it. And then I go back and join Faraday and the others.
All right. So who is all taking part in this fight?
Also, thanks.
Faraday.
Real quick, keep tapping X. Thanks for the raid.
Aw, thank you for the raid.
Welcome,
Ooh.
welcome.
That D20 symbol's fantastic.
Right? Isn't that
That's
cool?
pretty dope.
That's awesome. Holy crap. But welcome to Decisions and Dragons.
It's kind of half-assed, but that's okay.
Okay, you know what? I don't like that tone. Fine. Decisions and Dragons.
Yeah.
You guys get fluffy hair for the rest of the night. That's on you.
I mean, my hair does that in the humidity, so you know.
So we got Faraday and Cad, and Dermot and
Dermot will
Jericho.
join.
Mm-hmm.
Thurston.
You
What?
can sit out.
I mean, I wouldn't want to leave Arthea by herself.
Hey, Court, check if Arathea is joining.
Dermot hands Thurston 20 gold and says, put this on us to win.
I don't know how to find a betting person. Okay.
Oh, Jericho speaks up. Actually, the bartenders handle all that here, so.
Oh, okay. Thank you. That was very nice of you. And he doesn't realize that Jericho never delivered that letter.
Yeah. Yeah, anytime. Just they'll get you all taken care of. I love the rushed running to your seats. That was adorable.
There was a little, there was a
Lightning. A lot of
Oh,
Oh,
lightning.
jeez.
my phone suddenly alerted me that there's a severe thunderstorm warning with 60-mile-an-hour winds. So
Oh my god.
our balcony
Yay.
is a little open at the moment, and I don't want the plants to go flying into the parking lot.
Yeah,
That's
that'll
fair.
be good.
So,
Plants do not belong in a parking lot.
are we all together?
At this point,
There's-
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Arathea
Now.
has Cadriel's coat.
What'd you say?
Arathea has Cadriel's coat. And it's purple with stars.
Oh, nice. I do love this coat.
Arathea, will you be taking part in the fight or no?
Who all is taking part? Is it just the two of them?
It's
And-
Cad, Faraday, and Dermot, and Jericho. And Thurston has made it clear that they would not like to leave Arathea alone.
It would be ungentlemanly to leave her alone in a place like this.
really would. Some of these people are kind of, she kind of
It really
eyes
would.
back.
We should really stay together as a group.
Yeah. I mean, do you need me to do things? I didn't really think about this morning.
If you want to sit out, if you just want to watch, you can.
I mean, I don't know if
You made a very good point yesterday that this was to be fun.
This is true. I'm not sure getting knocked unconscious is fun. It hasn't been fun.
Hmm.
You know, the stabbing, blood,
I mean, I
bruising.
quite enjoy the stabbing, but
Not when it happens to you.
It is up to
That's
you.
half the fun. Then you get a mark so you can show people and tell a grand story about it, right? Says
Exactly.
Jericho.
Oh shit.
So,
Ah,
sorry,
Do we
Tense.
know? Do you know who you're fighting?
point to the group that we're fighting.
You see the bald elf wearing dark gray robes and has a quarterstaff, and they have the big beaded necklace around their neck. Clearly, he is a wizard.
Or of some sort.
You see a large half orc with a spiked up mohawk wearing shiny golden armor. He's got a spear and a shield. You see a halfling, long blonde hair that's kept in some messy braids, but she's also wearing some like goldish armor and she has a staff. And then you see a human woman with red hair with a big floppy wizard's or witch's hat, and she also carries a staff.
Hmm.
There's just four of
Four.
them.
It's 4, yeah.
I mean, do you think?
It's up to you.
I don't have everything.
You can keep Thurston company as well.
I mean, but at least 2 of them look like they can wield some probably pretty serious magic.
I mean, it would be probably helpful to have both of you, but I understand if you're not quite prepared and Thurston is scared.
Hey, never
Even
said I
Jericho's
was
like,
scared.
"Okay." Takes a drink of his whiskey.
I mean, Thurston, you are a valuable member of our party, and think of it as practice for the next time we get into a cavern fight with a giant metal monster and somebody that dangles Dermot over a cavern.
You guys have seen some shit.
Oh yeah, you left before.
Thought
Drury
I
Village got
responded
real fun.
appropriately to that situation.
Oh, you responded very well to that situation.
Thank
I'm
you.
just saying there are always things that could be a little better.
Well, if Arthea wants to do it, then I guess I could do it. I guess. But
Good for
again,
you.
if she doesn't want to, then I wouldn't want to leave her sitting here by herself.
I mean, I would never force you. I'm just pointing out that, the
Oh,
better we
first.
fight together as a team,
By
the
the
more
gods.
successful we'll be.
Jericho pulls out a silver piece. Heads, you join. Tails, you sit out. He flips the coin. Faraday, roll me a percentile dice, please.
Kuja, do you
Heads
want me to
is
just
high.
flip? Do you want me to just flip a coin?
All right, fine. Flip a coin, whatever.
You have
There you
one?
go.
Yeah.
I do.
Nice.
I have an
My
elder.
dice with me right now.
All right,
You don't have
let
your
me
dice?
actually-
What kind of DM are you?
Let me actually look at.
I mean,
my
that's
spells.
fair. I could go
Be less
sessions without.
prepared.
Is that a heads? That is a heads.
Heads.
Liar. Liar. No one confirmed. Just kidding. I'm kidding.
What did I prepare for the day?
Nothing.
I
You were on
mean-
vacation.
Nah, I'm not too bad. Not terrible. I don't think.
All right.
All right.
So
Nah, fuck it.
the 5 of us then, yes?
Oh,
6 of us.
And Jericho. And Cadriel just looks at Thurston and grins at him. Claps him on the shoulder and says, "It'll be fun, Thurston.
Okay.
You say so.
If nothing
You-
else, you're proving to the people in town that you're not just a mama's boy."
Them's fighting words.
No. Well,
Jericho actually looks
the
at
last
Faraday and
24
just
hours,
says,
Cat has been like a little rough.
Jericho leans over and just whispers to Faraday, "Do we just let them fight each other? Is that kind of pay to watch that?"
I don't know if that would last very long.
Me did.
It's real hard.
As you guys are having this conversation, Quincy approaches. Again, glass of wine. Says, "Are you ready?"
I think we're
All
ready.
of us.
All
It
right.
appears we are.
No, we are not. Not at all.
Don't
Some of us are
worry.
not.
Yes, we
Don't
are.
worry.
not.
I've got you.
Some of us are not.
You all are led to a door that actually winds down a couple more steps, flights of stairs, to the ground floor of this Coliseum. You approach this gate that is closed, and as you do, you actually see the final four also walk next to you.
Ah,
And
Can
the
you give me a description of them again?
sure.
Or
So
I mean, I
they're-
can also roll if you want me to see.
I'll give it to you. They're pretty obvious. The half orc is wearing splint mail and has a large shield and a spear in his other hand. He kind of like gives a side glare to Faraday.
Smiles.
His tusks are protruding from his bottom lip. You see the high elf the bald high elf dressed in robes with a quarterstaff, just staring straight forward, emotionless, not even really taking in anybody that's around him. You see the halfling who's sort of clutching her staff a little bit as she's like, "Okay,
Oh.
hi." And then she gets a glare from the other mage, and then just looks forward.
Oh.
And then the last is a human female with long red hair under a floppy witch's hat. She's also wearing some nice red and purple robes, and she has a staff with a curved wooden sort of knotted protrusion out of the top of the staff itself. And she kind of gives, okay, there's this gif of this cheerleader girl who very clearly is giving off the vibe of bitch. She does one of these. Like looks you up and down and gives a little smirk. She 100% does that to Arathea.
Oh.
Rude.
Quincy turns and says, "The rules of the fight are to fight until incapacitation. Whichever team has a surviving member is deemed the winner. Any attempts on another's life after they've already been incapacitated will be dealt with swiftly. And other than that, there are no rules. Take your place, and then we will signal when the fight is to begin." And you can see Quincy reaches up and pulls down a lever, and the gate slowly rises. And as it does, you could hear all the people who were, sitting at the tables kind of cheer a little bit as they're, out of excitement for what's to come. The final four make their way towards one side of the pit. The orc obviously sort of positions himself at the front, and the elf sort of very calmly on their left. The halfling stays back on one side while the other mage stays back on the other side. Just for fun and giggles, I'm gonna do this. Bam. Jericho is with you as well. So just imagine that all in the circle, they're just people in seats with drinks and food and all that, just enjoying the sight. And over here, Grimthorn actually stands next to another dwarf who is seated in this little throne, quote unquote, with the big Goliath to their other side. This dwarf is bald with a salt and pepper beard and mustache that sort of puffs over their chest into 3 braids with ornaments on the edges. And they have a little bit of more of a weathered look to them. But they're wearing a rather nice looking, like sort of medieval looking suit. And they sort of are eyeing each of you closely. Grimthorn eventually speaks up, says, "All right. Fighters, prepare yourselves. You have 1 minute until the fight begins."
Okay.
Any preparation you guys would like to do?
Yep.
Adios.
Oh, yes.
You ready for some fun?
Of course. At all times, my darling.
She grabs him, takes out her chaos blade. All right.
Well, they
You
say
see, as you pull out Gladius, those 2 little spindly arms come up and do one of these. I'm ready for whatever you throw at us.
She gives him a like fancy twirl, but you know.
You hear a ha ha.
You said we have 1 minute.
Yes.
Yeah.
So 10 rounds. Okay, I have to fix my hair. It's like having ear warmers just right here.
Faraday, Thurston, Cad, and Arthea.
Mhm.
You all have bardic inspiration as I
Yes.
start to play a variation of Faraday's theme song, and it is the Fiona's 5 theme song.
He's gonna make it happen.
Jesus fuck.
It's gonna be.
I'm
fetch.
going to keep saying it until you stop arguing with me, and then
Never
that's
gonna
okay.
happen.
I don't know. We might get Spider-Man into this.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Just as a note, any preparation, any spells you guys cast to prepare yourselves, just mark down for reasons. So bardic
mark them
inspiration
down?
for everybody. Just mark them down, just so that way you have them for when we come back, because
When we need them.
it's 9 o'clock.
when you need them.
Okay.
Since they said anything was allowed, it's going to cast Aid on
Okay.
Cad, Faraday, and wait, I get 3 creatures. I wish when you used a higher spell slot, you got more creatures.
I know.
What does it do?
I mean, I get
otherwise?
it gives you it doubles
points?
or it increases more points.
Oh, instead of spread, it goes up.
Yeah, which
instead
is
of spread.
cool. But like, I got a lot of people to cover, man. So yeah, Cad, Faraday, and usually it would be Mako, but Mako's not here. And he looks between Dermot and Arthea, and 50-50 chance. Well, he just inspired me, so Dermot.
That's fair. Dermot, are you a
And what is that, Rose?
inspiration?
The inspiration, I believe, is a it is a D8.
Okay.
So your hit point maximum increases by 5, and your current hit points increase by 5
Okay.
for the next 8 hours.
Jericho draws his 2 swords, one being a standard-looking scimitar, very shiny, very clean blade. The other one has a distinctly different sort of design to it, where the blade almost looks like it's made out of black iron with a red gem placed in the hilt. And as he draws them, he takes the one with the black iron, and you see him drag it across his back a little bit to draw blood, and you watch his blade be coated in this freezing cold energy.
Oh, Faraday. Seems like you
Oh.
guys share some talents.
Yeah,
Oh, for real?
It doesn't get easier to watch.
I know.
She
Yeah, you get over it after a little bit.
Well, she does it with a whip, but
She unholsters her whip and taking the usual spiel, taking the hilt and dragging the blade at the pommel, will draw it across the back of her hand and kind of mix it and pull it across. However, instead of fire damage, instead of the flames that normally lick across, you guys see bits of electricity and lightning, like almost like a really
Shit.
bad shock, like when you can see the arc
Oh, sweet.
dance down the length of the whip.
Is that because
Not
you're
bad.
green
Oh.
now?
Oh.
Oh my gosh, you can't just ask people why they're green.
Sorry, but she is green.
Okay.
It is something new.
Rose, I love Thurston so much.
Same.
God. Jericho actually says, oh, shit, I always forget. He tucks one sword under. He reaches into his bag and pulls out a bottle that's filled with this gross, syrupy kind of half
Mm.
between liquid and solid liquid. Yeah, hold on. He like shovels it into his mouth. You see, like chews a little bit, and as he does, you see his eyes flash blue for a second, and then he takes the sword back, and you see he's a little bit lighter on his feet.
Very interesting.
What was that?
We'll
Doesn't
talk
look
later.
like it tasted any good.
No, they never do. They never. If you knew what they were made of, you would understand.
I'm casting
Uh,
mirror image on myself,
I'm
Okay.
guessing it's the
fair.
spit of a manicore.
and I will take the time to cast Gift of Alacrity on Faraday.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
you get 1d8 added to your initiative for the next 8 hours. So if you get in a bunch of fights.
As a parting comment to Dermot, he says, "Yeah, that's been known to be a pretty good catalyst for this sort of thing." He's gesturing towards the bottle that he like tosses, and it just shatters on the ground.
I was
All
just
right.
joking. That's gross.
It's not pretty.
Image.
Shit.
Ah.
I want to burn a thing. What do I want to
Mirror
burn?
image is already cast.
I don't want to do that yet.
Mage armor's up from the morning.
Yeah, this is the following day from
Mm-hmm.
when we were
Yes.
training, right?
Yes.
Might take that that third level spell slot back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably a good idea.
As we're prepping, I'm gonna look at Kat and say, who do you think's the better target?
I think the orc might be pretty tough.
Mm-hmm.
He'll get in the way. You know,
I might be able
casters
to
are.
slow him down. Or a little bit.
Yeah, I have a feeling the casters are going to be a little. Well, she kind of gestures to their caster friends.
Yeah.
You know, just because it's true doesn't mean you have to say it.
I mean, if you
I say I can't promise anything, but I might be able to slow down that orc.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I worry about is three of them. They might be able to counter quite a bit of our stuff that way.
I can't counter my sword.
That's very true.
Nor mine.
Nor
And
I
Arthea,
say with the ironic bravado.
and Arthea, they cannot counter your crossbow.
That's true. But if I do that, I won't be able to really do anything else.
Oh.
It's still kind of it's a process still. I haven't quite gotten down the
Either the
casting and
orc,
shooting.
either the orc or the redhead. I think either one would be a good idea. Faraday.
Okay.
As you're having this conversation, you can see that mage, the red-haired mage, slam her staff down, and you see this shimmer go around her. You can see the other one. Let's see.
Oh, yeah, I should talk to my owl. This poor owl.
Oh yeah, kind of
alive.
dragged her into something, didn't we?
Yeah.
The owl sort of just looks up with wide eyes at Arthea.
Yeah. Hmm,
Poor guy.
maybe once you see Cadriel run in there, see if you can get in the face of whoever she's going.
They nod, and then you see Stella take a few steps like towards the
Aw.
edge of your shoulder, and then like glare.
Terrible.
The other mage, you see she whispers something to herself and then gestures with the staff, and the orc, the elf, and the human all have a
Ooh.
similar shimmer go around them,
Shit.
close to what Thurston had cast.
Our power is flashing a little bit, so
Oh,
if we disappear, that's
Oh
why.
shit! All right. Well,
Oh.
more planning could go into this off camera.
okay.
Because what I'm going to be doing, we're going to end tonight's session just for the sake of time. We're about to jump into a crazy battle,
Yeah.
and that's going to take a bit. So,
Yeah.
thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you for the raid. You guys are awesome. And yeah, I'm actually really excited to see how this turns out. I did not expect you to convince Jericho to join you, but that's okay. Things happen. So
That's Spring Faraday
Um,
for you.
Yeah.
I
didn't
love
expect-
Spring Faraday.
I didn't expect to convince Thurston to join us.
that was
Thurston
really
really
good.
didn't get a choice. You flipped
It
a
was a
coin.
Just
point
ask why
flip.
they're green.
That's why she's green.
Thurston, you know what? Everyone underestimates Thurston, and
She doesn't underestimate him. She thinks
not
he
Tad.
needs to-
Everybody else.
Yeah, true.
It's true. They do just see, oh, little rich boy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Trying to come here and have some fun. Oh, look at him.
It's okay.
Yep.
You'll show them.
Mhm.
Cadriel just thinks he needs to step out of his comfort zone.
He
And
did.
maybe
He left his
intimidate
house.
He left his house.
And
He
maybe
went on a whole
intimidate his...
adventure, like a whole ass adventure
You know
into some
what?
like
He can
creepy
see this
dank
as
mines.
he can see it as an opportunity to intimidate his sister's whatever boyfriend.
Her whatever.
Yes.
We don't believe in titles yet. All right, everybody. Well, we love you so much. Be nice to each other, and we will see you next week for more Decisions and Dragons.
Yay! Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Good night, interwebs.
Good